Hello everyone, today I'm here to do a book review and I'm talking about 99% Mine by Sally Thorne. So if you haven't heard of Sally Thorne, she wrote the book that is called The Hating Game, which came out a couple years ago and that took BookTube by storm. I heard about it on BookTube, I read it because of BookTube, and I loved it. So 99% Mine and The Hating Game are both adult, contemporary slash romance slash steaminess, whatever category you want to put it in. If you're interested in hearing about The Hating Game, if I liked it or not, and things like that, I will link the review right up here. I'm going to talk about 99% Mine today. I'm going to tell you what the book is about, what I thought about it, and yeah, so 99% Mine, hopefully this is the last time I will say that, is her follow-up to The Hating Game, and a lot of people were very excited, including myself, and the reviews, the feedback has not been the best for it, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been very mixed. I came out of it enjoying it, but definitely not as much as The Hating Game, but I didn't dislike it as much as a lot of other people are on Goodreads and things like that. This book, we follow Darcy. Darcy's kind of a nomad, she doesn't like to stay at home a lot, she likes to travel a lot, she is a wedding photographer, and she's actually a destination wedding photographer, I would say, so she does that a lot. She just travels all the time. She doesn't like being at home. She has a twin brother named Jamie, I believe, and she also has a really close friend named Tom, who is like her brother's best friend, and she's been in love with Tom ever since she was a little kid, but he's always been kind of, you know, hands off because he is her brother's best friend. So now Darcy has lost her passport and she's kind of stuck at home, and she's more and particularly stuck at home, and her grandmother's home has now passed away and she left her home to her, and so they are renovating her house, and so Tom comes in once again into the picture, and he is like the contractor on the job to do all of the housework, and they stay at the house together, and there's your plot right there. Basically, this is, if her Hating Game was a hate to lovers trope, this is a friends to lovers trope, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as The Hating Game, I'll get into that more later, but I thought it was good. I love the steaminess of it, I love the sexual tension of it. I didn't love the characters as much as The Hating Game, but overall I wasn't upset about it as other people were. My solid rating for this would be a 4 out of 5. I really wanted to give it a 5 out of 5, but it just wasn't that in my opinion. I'd say if you are going to go into this comparing it to The Hating Game, don't do that, because every book an author writes is going to be different. They can't replicate everything from a previous book, because that would be copying her previous book. Like, why would you do that? So things have to change, things have to progress. The characters are different, the plot's different, a lot of things are different. Moving into the characters now, I didn't, like I said, love them as much as I did with Lucy and Josh in The Hating Game. Those two are freaking perfection, but Darcy is a character I sometimes loved and I sometimes loathed. Darcy has got that tough girl demeanor. She's a bartender. The very opening scene of this whole book reminded me of Coyote Ugly. A lot of my friends said that as well. But she, you know, is a tough girl. She has a pixie cut and she has one nipple pierced. I don't know, she talked about that a lot, and I was like, okay. But you know, she wants you to know that she's a tough girl. She's not some girl that you can just take advantage of and things like that, which I was okay with, but she was okay to read about. One thing I didn't love about her, she had a heart condition in this book, and she kind of didn't take it seriously at all, and I was making me upset. This is not something to like take for granted or not take seriously because it's your health, especially heart problems. Why? So I didn't love that. Tom, on the other hand, he was a great character. He's a great guy. I loved his story. I loved how he came to be in Darcy's life, and yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about the characters. They're just not as lovable as the people in The Hating Game, I'll say that. As far as the relationship goes, one problem, probably the biggest problem I had with this book, was the possessiveness. Both of these characters were very possessive over the other one. Like, if some guy would talk to Darcy, Tom would get very upset, very like, she's mine, this is mine, my property. And if some girl would talk to Tom, or some people would disrespect Tom, she would be like, he's mine, don't ever say that to him, he's my property. And I'm like, what? Like, you're both individuals, nobody owns anybody, like why? They were both very possessive over one of the other, and I was just not loving that as much, so that's my biggest flaw with the relationship. This does, like I said, have the friends to lovers trope in it, which I do love, but I don't love it as much as the hate to love. That one's just amazing. I think the friends to lovers trope is best in a series, if I'm honest with you, because you get to see the characters become friends, you get to see them progress into more, and by the time they're together, you've been like waiting for it for literally ever, so you're just excited as crap about it. Looking at you, Ron and Hermione. But you don't get those same feelings as you do with a standalone standalone contemporary book, because you know they've been friends forever, but you don't see that beforehand. You just kind of know it. So you get to see the last 25% of when they are friends and they progress into more. So overall, like I said, I gave this book a 4 out of 5. I'd say read it definitely if you read The Hating Game. If you haven't, I'd still read it. I think it's a good, solid, chick lit, steamy book. I love the steaminess scenes in it. I love the dialogue. It's definitely different from The Hating Game, but overall, like, I think it's a good follow-up for first book. But I think The Hating Game is just one of those books that you can't quite replicate, and I've already reread it this month, and I'm still in love with it as much as I was when I first read it. So 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I would love to hear your thoughts if you liked it as much as I did. Like I said, I know I'm probably one of the most highest raters of this book. A lot of people have been rating it like 2 or 3, so I don't know what else to say, but I would love to hear what you think about this. Sorry for the short review, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I don't know how to end this video, apparently. I'll see you guys in my next video. Now I can end it. Bye.